There was some bigger news that has happened here in the past day and a half. And Peter, this
Um,
is why you're depressed. Please tell us, Peter, why are you depressed right now?
yeah, so for our audio listeners right now, I'm wearing all
Okay.
black with sunglasses on right now. I am depressed. I am
He's
grieving.
going to a funeral, clearly.
I am going to a funeral. Okay? The Chicago Bears have announced today, again, it is June 5th, 2026, when we're recording this. Chicago Bears put out a statement that said that the board of governors or board of directors have officially voted on moving forward with building the stadium in Hammond, Indiana. So, if you guys remember this from episode 1, I said if the Bears go to Indiana, I will pull out receipts and go scorched earth. So, boys,
Here we are.
glasses are coming off. I am very upset. All right. So, if you're listening to this right now or you're watching this right now, crack open a cold one, get some popcorn, go make a sandwich,
Cold one.
do whatever you want. Okay. I'm going to go on a rant. Okay. So, again, okay. So, before I get into this whole thing, both of you guys, I want to take you back in a time machine. Okay. I want us to go back to like the 90s. Okay.
Woo!
We landed in a place called Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, very familiar.
And there is a certain NFL team called the Cleveland Browns. The Browns don't own their stadium, the city does. They tried negotiating with the city and the state to build a new stadium. The city and the state don't really want to fund the stadium in any particular way because they want the team that is owned by, at the time, a multimillionaire. Again, times change because, inflation. They said, hey, you're going to fully fund the whole entire stadium. And then a little bird, caw, flew in from a faraway state from Maryland. And they said, I will give you the millions of dollars. I will give you the billions of dollars. I will give you the tax breaks if you want to come to my city. And the Browns owner at the time, Art Rooney, said, absolutely. And then he basically decided to take his ball and go home, and not just go home, but move to a whole entire other side of the country. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the Baltimore Ravens were born.
True.
Why do I bring this up, ladies and gentlemen? Because the exact same thing is happening with the Chicago Bears. And
Can I pause you there really quickly?
no, no,
That
no,
is
no, no, no,
the
no,
Hammond
no,
Bears to you, sir.
no. Shh, you. This is my time. This is my team. The Bear is right behind me. My pennant is right behind me. I have Walter Payton up here jumping, not out of joy, but out of sadness in his grave because of this news, okay? I have sifted through articles. I have sifted through interviews. I have literally listened to Chicago radio in the past 48 hours, literally almost become like NPR, but out of the fact that Chicago public radio callers are calling into TV shows grieving over the fact of this news, okay? Number one, I just want to point this out to people. I blame 80% of what's happening right now on the Illinois state government. 80% of it. The other 20% is on Chicago Bears. I'll get to them later. More specifically, one individual. The fact that, okay, I just want to give a timeline to this, okay? The Bears purchased Arlington Heights, I believe, like 2021, 2022. They essentially were like, hey, we want to build the stadium right here in Arlington Heights because we purchased an old horse race track that's not being used anymore. The Illinois state government's like, well, like we'll have to see, blah, blah, blah. They kick the can down the road. 3 years later, Indiana comes calling. And guys, do you want to know how fast they actually passed this deal to the Bears? Because mind you, it's $1 billion of taxpayer money to help build the stadium, and over $750 million to help pay with infrastructure costs, as well as a 40-year tax break. Do you want to know how fast this went from Hammond, Indiana, to the state house floor, to the state senate floor, to the governor's office in a span of time? Do you know how quick they got that done?
And
How quickly?
5 days.
tough.
Oh,
That happened in February. And mind you, the Illinois state government had ample time to respond to this. They didn't respond at all. And instead, they didn't even pass a bill, which I already ranted about on Instagram. Go check us out on Instagram. I just want to point this out. That is the equivalent. And again, Levi and I graduate college. Levi, you and I procrastinated on the homework, okay? That's like us going into the 18th hour to submit something on Canva, but we forgot to hit submit.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yep. Speaking home right there.
What are we flipping doing? You had 4 months to get this figured out. 4. And you didn't do it. You are now losing an organization that has been in the state of Illinois since its inception. And you essentially said, yeah, go take your ball and go to the other neighborhood. This is not going to affect just the businesses and the bars and the merchandise stores. This is affecting hundreds of thousands of people in the city of Chicago. And then the mayor had the audacity to go out there and said, yeah, the last time that we had a conversation with Chicago Bears was back in April. I beg your finest pardon? April? It's June. You haven't had a conversation with one of your biggest revenue bringers into the city in 4 months? 4 months. What are we doing? And then I want to look at the Illinois state government, which those, I am trying to keep this as PG as I can right now. I'm not calling for any ill will to happen to them in any capacity. I'm not calling for that at all. I in fact condone it. I'm like, if you do that, you are a bad person. The law will get you. To say that they are nincompoops is an understatement. Levi and Aiden, I compared them to freaking ostriches because you want to know why? They put their head in the flipping sand for 4 months and did nothing. Nothing. Now that that is out of the way with the Illinois state government, I am going to look into this camera and say one thing to one person. Kevin Warren, CEO of the Chicago Bears, what do you actually do? What is your job? Because mind you, Aiden and Levi, he's a CEO of the Chicago Bears. He was brought in because, he was the former commissioner of the Big Ten. Do you want to know what the one reason George McCaskey hired him to do? To build a stadium. That was his one job. His one job to do that. Mind you, since the Bears bought Arlington Heights, the Buffalo Bills, shout out to Bills Mafia, they not only went to their state government, got the bill passed to build their new stadium and get public taxpayer money to help build it, they broke ground, started building the stadium, and mind you, come September, they're going to be playing in their new stadium after the Bears bought Arlington Heights. The Tennessee Titans, same situation, same thing. They're going to be in the stadium not this upcoming season, but the very next season. And on top of that, the NFL will award them with the Super Bowl. The Jacksonville Jaguars work with their state government and is now having over $1 billion revenue project to revamp their whole entire stadium. The Bears haven't even put a shovel in the flipping ground to move dirt. I can probably find a dog peeing in a park and digging a hole to poop in faster than I think the Bears can actually break ground. What are we flipping doing?
Sorry.
Kevin Warren, what is your major malfunction? You are not the GM. Quit trying to overtake Ryan Poles' job and do your flipping job and make a stadium. But you can't do that because there's a major malfunction in your brain, and the fact that you're trying to do back channel talks and trying to do this whole entire backdoor negotiation, will I, won't I, in terms of whether or not I stay in Illinois or move to Indiana. Stop doing that. Negotiate with the people that in good faith, but instead you want to be a turd and just back channel, and now you're moving to Indiana. Cool. Whoop-de-flippin'-do. Guess how many people are going to go to Hampton, Indiana, where there's an old steel mill, an abandoned golf course, and smog. Like, what are we doing? What are we flipping doing? I went from the happiness of the Bears finally making the postseason, beating the Packers in the wild card. Illinois basketball does fantastic. I was on a cloud 9, gentlemen, for months. And then this happened. I could go on. I know we're on a time limit, but holy flipping cow. Levi, I think we're going to need a whole entire podcast episode by itself to talk about this, because I have a lot more receipts in the pocket, but I can't really go to that because from the politicians putting their freaking foot in their mouths to their head in the sand with their butt cheeks facing up towards the sky, like I could go on and on and on and on and on about this whole entire thing, but I'm not going to. And I'm just going to give it to you guys, and you guys ask me questions, and I'll give you more context to the situation.
I first off, I need to say, I mean, as being a fan of sports, football, NFL, and having an NFL team that I root for, if I were to know that my team was preparing to go move and play in another city, despite all the loyal fan base that they've created for a team over years, and Chicago Bears is one of the oldest franchises in NFL history, and you're getting prepared to move out of your home city, your home state, even to go play in another state, it just seems like a complete slap in the face. My dad, to give you a story, my dad was a Cleveland Browns fan through and through. He rooted for him as a kid and continued to root for him. But when they made that move, like you were talking about, to Baltimore, he fell out of the NFL game completely. He's primarily an Ohio State fan, follows college football avidly. But when it came to NFL, he couldn't care less. When they did that to him, when they did that to Cleveland, to Baltimore, like that fan base, they got their hearts ripped out. You guys are going exactly through that right now, and I just have to say, I mean, again, for being one of the oldest franchises, it's just completely depressing. I mean, and yeah, I mean, Illinois just dug the grave for Chicago Bears, and now they're going to rise out of the ashes in Indiana, which is not what anybody wants. But man, it's just an insane thing. I get you had the logistics behind it, you got the politics, but like you said, for something, an organization that brings in so much revenue every single year, taking them out of the city, taking them out of Illinois completely, Indiana is now going to have 2 NFL teams, and in the state of Indiana is now going to be getting revenue from 2 NFL teams. You just lost that. You just lost that, Illinois. You guys are making a big mistake here, and I don't care who you root for, who your team is. This is one of the worst mistakes. You just lost your fans by doing this. You guys are the worst. Chicago needed to do something to make this up for. The governor of Illinois, you're making a massive mistake here. You need to reconsider. I don't know what can happen at this point, but I would want something to be changed.
I just want to add some context to this. Adam Schefter report is saying it's pretty much a done deal if something strange doesn't happen. Now, there is a little, and I mean the tiniest glimmer of hope that the Bears stay in Illinois. But instead of Arlington Heights, the state of Illinois and the state of Chicago wants the Bears to stay on the lakefront. Guys, I hate to break it to you. You guys have been to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a couple times, yeah.
A couple times? Okay. If you have driven on Lakeshore Drive like I have when I've been out of Chicago, I have a quick question to them. Where on flipping earth are they going to build another stadium on the lakefront? Unless they make a whole man-made island out in the middle of Lake Michigan, there's no room to build it on the lakefront because every single place has been occupied either by a museum, merchandise store, a big gigantic parking lot, which you could place it there, but again, it goes back to the whole, well, where are people going to park? Figured it out. Like what are we doing? Figure it out, build it on the lakefront, stay in Chicago. It's like they don't want to do that. The Bears have stated multiple times it's Arlington Heights or it's Hammond, Indiana. One of those two. And the state of Illinois was like, oh, you don't want to stay in Chicago? No. Who wants to? With how high that they have to pay in property taxes to build a stadium, guys, I hate to break it to you, NFL teams are a flipping business. They are a business. They are there to do what, guys? Make money. Mr. Krabs, I like money. I like money. But instead, you're basically trying to kick him to the curb and say, well, we don't want you here. What is your major malfunction to think that that's good business for the state as a whole or for the city as a whole? It's not. Am I wrong?
No, I mean,
it's poor, really. It really is just it's a poor decision. I think it's poor from everyone involved, from Chicago. I mean, I think it's understandable from an Indiana standpoint to make the push to bring the Bears into town because it's like Levi mentioned, it's more revenue to the state. It makes sense, and I think they made the right decision on their front for their pockets. I think it's bad for everybody else involved. I don't think it's right for the sport. I think it's just poor on Chicago's part or Illinois' part. I don't understand how you can have a team be there for what, 90 years, probably more.
Over
I
100
mean,
years, yeah, the state of Illinois.
and you're essentially just gonna let them walk out, like it's not like there was no fight. There wasn't even like a fight really put up. It
They
was
waited,
just,
Aiden, they waited 4 months to respond to it, and they did nothing.
yeah, it's
Like,
just poor all around.
I've seen this much procrastination since I was in high school trying to get a project done. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
It's poor.
Like, it's
It's poor
I-
management. Yeah, just
yeah. And again, sorry for cutting you off, but it's like
no, you're good.
it's so frustrating because this could have been easily done in a week, maybe 2 weeks, had they all sat down, had good faith negotiations, and gotten this figured out.
mm-hmm.
But instead, again, like you said, Aiden, both parties are at fault, and I'm not denying that. But I think when it comes to the state of Illinois and how much they kick the can down the road, not just for months ever since Indiana proposed this, and good on Indiana. Like they saw an opportunity, seized it, good for them. What I'm upset about is the fact that the state of Illinois kicked the can down the road for years when it came to Arlington Heights thing, didn't allow the Bears or in any way, shape, or form to build there since 2022 when they purchased the property. And then when push came to shove, they're like, well, we're not going to do anything. What? Like, I just don't understand what is, like, again, it goes back to the whole ostrich thing. They put their head in the sand and did not want to deal with the situation at all.
Pretty much sums it up. A lot of mistakes have been made, and I'm sure there's more on the way. Obviously, some of our biggest questions is what happens with Soldier Field. Do the Bears actually change their name? Like, there's a lot
They're
of
not
things
going
that
to
are
change their
going
name
forward.
just in the Chicago area.
I would hope not. I mean, I don't think the Hammond Bears is going to be very catchy. Or
No, it goes
Indiana
back to the
Bears.
whole like Levi, like the New York Giants and the New York Jets play at MetLife. They're still called the New York Jets,
Yeah.
even though they play in New Jersey. Like
That's a good point.
like Dallas plays in Arlington. They play in a suburb of Dallas, which is like I think it's
Mhm.
like what 10, 15 miles south of Dallas. They're still called the Dallas Cowboys. So it's not like they're gonna change their name to the Ham. Like it's still like they are no joke, like still like a half mile away from being on the Illinois side, being
Mhm.
Southside Chicago.
Yeah.
So they're gonna keep their name, but like it's frustrating because it's like everyone is clowning on the Bears, saying, "Oh, like the Ham Bears" and stuff like that. It's like cool, but if your team was in the same situation and push came to shove, and you have an opportunity to build a stadium that, mind you, you get taxpayer dollars on building the stadium, taxpayer dollars to help with buying infrastructure equipment, and you get a 40-year tax break. Guys, we're going to be almost retired by the time that tax break ends for the Bears.
Mhm.
True.
So if you're a business person, why wouldn't you take that opportunity? It's right there. It like the Infinity is sort of giving it to them on a silver platter and saying, take it. And the Bears are like, well, why not?
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, yeah, we'll give like a full deep dive breakdown here in another episode. I'm sure there's a lot of Bears fans out there too that probably have a lot to voice their opinions about. So I'd love to hear some feedback on that. Like if you guys have questions in the comments or just your overall thoughts, leave it there, and we'd love to cover that in another episode.